Every day, billions of people around the world call someone their husband or wife. There are weddings, rings, vows, marriage certificates, and entire industries built around the idea of marriage. It feels so normal that most people never stop to ask a strange question. What if you traveled back 50,000 years and pointed at a couple sitting beside a campfire? If you asked an ancient human, "Is that your wife?" would they even understand what you meant? Because marriage, as we know it today, is surprisingly new. There were no churches, no governments, no legal documents, no wedding rings, and no official ceremonies. Yet ancient humans still fell in love, raised children, and built families. So how did it work? To understand the answer, imagine living in a small prehistoric tribe. Everyone knows everyone. You wake up together, hunt together, eat together, and sleep near the same fire every night. There are no cities to disappear into and no dating apps to find strangers. Your entire social world might contain only a few dozen people. In that environment, relationships worked very differently. Anthropologists believe that long before formal marriage existed, humans formed pair bonds. In simple terms, two people chose to stay together. Not because a law required it, not because a priest declared it, but because surviving together was easier than surviving alone. Raising children in the Stone Age was incredibly difficult. Human babies are helpless for years. A single parent would struggle to provide food, protection, and care at the same time. Two adults working together had a much better chance of keeping their children alive. Over thousands of generations, cooperation became one of humanity's greatest survival tools. But this doesn't mean every ancient couple stayed together forever. The romantic idea of lifelong marriage probably wasn't universal. Different tribes likely had different customs. Some relationships lasted for life. Others ended. Some groups may have allowed new partners to form more easily than modern societies. Human behavior has always been complicated. Yet even without formal marriage, people still recognized relationships. If two people consistently shared food, slept together, traveled together, and raised children together, everyone in the tribe knew they were a couple. No paperwork was necessary. Imagine trying to hide a relationship in a group of only 30 people. It would be almost impossible. Everyone would notice. In many ways, the tribe itself acted as the record keeper. By the way, if you're enjoying these ancient human mysteries, make sure to subscribe. We explore the strange realities of prehistoric life that most people never think about. But here's where things become even more interesting. Many researchers believe that what we call marriage today evolved much later, after humans began farming. Once people started owning land, animals, and property, relationships became more than personal. Suddenly questions appeared. Who inherits the land? Who owns the animals? Who belongs to which family? Governments and religious institutions eventually created formal marriage systems to answer those questions. In other words, marriage wasn't invented because humans suddenly discovered love. Humans had probably been forming deep relationships for tens of thousands of years already. Marriage was invented because civilization became complicated. Property, inheritance, laws, and social order needed rules. Ancient hunter-gatherers had far fewer things to argue about. If your entire wealth consisted of a spear, a few tools, and a place by the fire, there wasn't much property to divide. But what about jealousy? What about competition? What if two people wanted the same partner? Ancient humans were still human. They felt attraction, heartbreak, envy, and desire just like we do today. Human emotions are far older than civilization itself. Long before the first city existed, people were already navigating complicated social relationships. Love stories didn't begin with castles and weddings. They began around campfires beneath the stars. And if this topic surprised you, leave a comment below. Do you think marriage is a human instinct, or is it something civilization invented later? In fact, some scientists believe pair bonding helped make humans successful as a species. Strong relationships encouraged cooperation, child-rearing, and social stability. The ability to build lasting connections may have been just as important as making tools or mastering fire. So did ancient humans get married? The answer depends on what you mean by marriage. If you mean legal contracts, wedding ceremonies, rings, and official recognition, then probably not. But if you mean choosing someone, building a life together, raising children, and being recognized as a couple by your community, then the answer is almost certainly yes. The strangest part is that if you could visit a campfire from 50,000 years ago, the people around it might seem surprisingly familiar. They laughed, argued, cared for their children, worried about relationships, and formed deep emotional bonds. The words husband and wife may not have existed. The ceremonies may not have existed. But the feelings probably did. And long before humanity built churches, governments, or wedding halls, two ancient humans were likely sitting together beside a fire, choosing each other in a world that had never even heard the word marriage. And if you want to discover more forgotten secrets of ancient human life, subscribe and join us for the next journey into prehistory.